Are you familiar with Quitter's Day? Quitter's Day is the second Friday in January. It's the day when nearly 80% of people who have made New Year's resolutions opt out of pursuing them. I used to be one of those people. So how can you avoid becoming part of that statistic? Think backwards. I'll explain what I mean and the technique that I use every year to guide and live my intended outcome story for the new year. Keep watching. Before we dive into the topic, achieving the changes that you want to make, living your best in 2025, I want to extend a personal invitation to register for our upcoming Living and Leading Change Certificate course. If you're leading teams through major change initiatives, you're not sure what to do, or you're a project manager who wants to improve your project success, or maybe you're an IT professional that wants to get a higher return on your IT investment, then this online program is for you. The next session kicks off January 21st, and it will equip you with the knowledge, skills, tools, and new techniques to navigate healthy and sustainable change without resistance. I'll put the link and all of the details on how to register in the description box below. I'll look forward to seeing you there. Okay, let's talk about today's topic, living your best in 2025. For me, New Year's resolutions used to be simply goals I wanted to achieve for that year. So I'd write 1 or 2 goal statements. I don't do that anymore. Now I do it very differently. Instead of writing 1 or 2 goal statements, I start with my intended outcome story. Yeah, I have an intended outcome story for me, for what I want my life, my business to look and feel like, what and who I want to be. Then I reflect on that story. First, I reflect on my current intended outcome story. Is it still relevant? What progress have I made this year? And what's needed to continue to live and create that story? Then I create a 4-word framework. This 4-word framework gives me a useful way of moving forward to live my outcome story while accounting for the existing demands of daily life and my operational environment. The words allow me to set an intention, align with my outcome story, assess progress, and they guide decisions and the actions I take and the actions that I don't take. Using the framework and aligning those words with my outcome story gives me more flexibility than just a list of goals. I can respond to new opportunities, and they also help me reframe challenges to help me achieve my intended outcome. For example, one of the words in a past framework was learn. The word represented the professional and personal learning that I wanted to accomplish that year. It also guided the way I interacted with the world and reminded me to be open to new learning opportunities. I engaged in the professional learning, reviewed progress from a learning perspective, and opened up new learning opportunities for me and for my clients. I also learned in unexpected ways. For example, I learned different leadership and communication styles that year as I began working with a new millennial team member. So when we encountered challenges, often with communication, that one word allowed me to explore the situation from a learning perspective. I didn't get frustrated. I asked different questions, and then together we created and learned new ways of interacting. Interested in using this technique and creating a 4-word framework for your 2025 year? Let's talk about how you do it. Just picking 4 words won't give you a useful framework. Think about it like building a house. Before you can frame the house, you need to know why you need a house and what type of house you are building and what that house will look and feel like when it is your home. That's your intended outcome story. That's your starting place. And you need that before you pick the 4-word framework that will guide you throughout the year. I've posted a previous video on the power of the intended outcome story and why goals are not enough when it comes to change. And I will link it in the show notes below. So let's talk about 3 steps for using a 4-word framework to create and guide your year 2025. First, allocate yourself some time to reflect. Ask yourself and develop your intended outcome story. What does life look and feel like on December 31st, 2025? Be clear, concrete, and concise. Write down your responses. What kind of work are you doing? What do your relationships look like? What behaviors are you engaging in that maybe you're not doing now? Then, keeping your outcome story in mind. And I'll encourage you to write it down. Ask, what activities, behaviors, or other aspects of my life are different in this outcome that I envision from where I am today? Then, as you reflect and look at that, choose 4 words that best represent for you your intended outcome story. Write them down and keep them somewhere that you can see them, reflect on them, and use them to guide your actions every day. I keep mine posted in a little frame on my desk. This year again, I've chosen 4 words that will provide the framework for my 2025 intended outcome story. They inspire and motivate me. And even as I wrote those words, I began to think about what the possibilities were and what were the things that were going to influence me and my actions throughout the year. I hope you found this helpful. If you try the 4-word framework strategy for your 2025 year, let me know. And let me know what you discover as you use that framework to guide what will take you to the next level. That's it for now. I'll talk to you soon.